Good afternoon, I'm Ben Lester and these are your 2:30 Sporting News headlines. Leeds United fans podded into the night following their team's promotion back to the Premier League, following their 6-0 win at home against Stoke City. Their fate was then left up to Burnley, who had to beat Sheffield United. The Clarets' victory secured promotion for them and Leeds yesterday evening. The Whites fans then took to the streets to celebrate. Nottingham Forest increased their dreams of playing in the Champions League next season after beating Tottenham 2-1 on Monday night. Forest sit third in the Premier League with just 5 games remaining and are in the FA Cup semi-final. However, just 3 points separate them and 7th place Aston Villa. Nuno Espirito Santo believes they can compete at the highest level of football.
We have a big desire to compete. You know, we like to compete, the players enjoy. And we are in a mix against big teams. That only can make us proud. And we embrace the challenge. We are ahead of a big week for us also. We're going to Wembley to compete against a big team. And there's a lot of games ahead of us. As long as we keep this approach, competing well, we never know.
Match of the Day presenter Gary Lineker said he feels that BBC wanted him to leave the show after more than a quarter of a century. Lineker announced his departure from the show in November last year. He'll continue hosting FA Cup and World Cup coverage for the BBC. Bristol Rovers were on the brink of relegation to League Two after an 8-match winless run. Sam Morley and Cody Dedman travelled to Bristol to talk to Bristol Live journalist Dan Hargreaves. Sam spoke to fans as well regarding the recent form and the ownership model.
Our team went to Bristol Rovers to speak with Bristol Live journalist and Rovers reporter Dan Hargreaves. We first asked Dan his overall thoughts on the season.
Well, it's been a disappointing season, of course. I'm sure there were some fans expecting a difficult season with all the change that was going on in the summer. The fact that we're here in the relegation zone with 3 games to go, I don't think anyone can be pleased with this season and how it's gone. Inconsistency has been the major issue. I think we've seen glimpses of progress, whether that's kind of a few wins at the start under Matt Taylor or after he lost his job in Inigo Calderon at the start with some home wins. But I think it's the run of 6 defeats that's completely obliterated the season. They should be comfortable, really.
We also asked Dan about the Gass's survival hopes and whether they will stay up in League One or not.
Well, they've got to rely on Burton having a slip somewhere. I mean, the fact that Burton have the game in hand, I think, is massively disadvantageous for Rovers. I'd like to say they do. I think they absolutely have to take it to the final day, at the very least, to give themselves a chance.
After a long season, we asked Dan what the Rovers fans can expect for next season should they get relegated.
You'd anticipate departures. You'd expect change, right? I mean, whether that's in the management as well, we'll see, but it's going to be a really tough League Two next year. We've seen it this year with the amount of teams in contention for promotion. There will be a lot of teams in the fight this year that miss out. I think it's going to be such a competitive League Two next year.
Sam Morley conducted interviews with fans where we first asked about the overall season and then asked about the new ownership model.
I think we will stay up just about. I mean, I think Burton have got a few tough games and I think Northampton aren't out of it yet. But I think we will just about survive.
I think it's too short of a time frame between the last owners and the new owners to really tell how the new owners are, but the first impressions aren't great. They've improved the stadium, they added the south stands. I think we'll find out after next season or midway through next season.
On Sunday, Oscar Piastri took the lead of the Formula One driver standings. However, 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton was left scratching his head after the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. After his 7th place finish, he was asked if at any point in the race he felt comfortable in the car. His reply was that there wasn't 1 second that he felt comfortable in his Ferrari, but that he is clearly capable of finishing 3rd. Day 4 of the World Snooker Championship is underway at the Crucible in Sheffield. The 7-time world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan headlines as he makes a return to the sport for the first time since January. The Rocket first game has just got underway against 2-time runner-up Ali Carter. Ben Whittaker defeated Liam Cameron on Sunday night after a 2nd-round knockout, which Whittaker's first fight with Cameron came to an abrupt end when both men tumbled out of the ring but despite his injuries from the fall, Whittaker was criticised afterwards for not continuing. A former Australian batter and commentator has been sentenced after domestic violence charges against a woman. Michael Slater pleaded guilty to the charges and was given 4 years in prison, but will walk free after 12 months as his term is partly suspended. The charges against Slater included allegations of assault, burglary, and stalking in multiple incidents against the individual. With the news of the merger between Southern Vipers and the Southern Brave, our reporter Beau Brown went to Utility Estate Bowl to find out more.
The cricket season is just around the corner. The sun's out, wickets are ready, and Hampshire cricket season is soon to be underway. Come with us to find out more.
It's a new era at the Ageas Bowl this season. Southern Vipers are no longer. Hampshire cricket's men and women's teams are together as one. Men's captain Ben Brown believes this is a positive move and will bring unity.
Yeah, it's really great. I think it's naturally been going that way over the last while, with kind of training alongside them in the gym, etc. And I think it's great. Yeah, I think people passing on different bits of experience and learning the game together. I think it's got to be the right thing. I think everybody in the same kit's great as well. A bit bright maybe with the yellow, but no, everyone's I think it's a really nice feel around the club in general. It's an incredible facility here with 2 pitches and the nets. So yeah, to be able to use that for the men and the women, it's great.
The merger sees one of England's most successful women's teams become an official part of Hampshire cricket. The move aims to streamline resources, boost interest and bring parity to both sides of the game. A decision which players on both sides, including Abby Norgrove, are looking forward to.
To be fair, I think it's pretty similar. Like, we've got a bit of a change in squad, but I think with the men and women, we've always known each other, we get on really well, so not really much of a change there. So yeah, just looking forward to doing the blue and yellow.
Definitely.
Fans can expect new branding, joint ticketing initiatives and a better matchday experience as the Vipers and the Brave roar together in the next chapter of English women's cricket. The move means one clear identity, more consistent support for players and greater visibility for women's cricket. From academy prospects to international stars, everyone will now wear the same badge.
The merger may be a big step for Hampshire and the Vipers, but it's an even bigger stride forward for equality in English cricket.
A fight that has been over 2 years in the making takes place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this Saturday. Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn were originally meant to fight in 2022, but it was cancelled on short notice due to Ben failing a drugs test. It has meant a delay to the start of a second generation of Ben Eubank rivalry, following their father's iconic fights back in the early 90s. British cyclist Tom Pidcock has been named Action Sportsperson of the Year at the Laureus World Sports Awards. The 25-year-old became just the 4th British cyclist to receive the award and the first male British cyclist to win it since 2014. He successfully defended his Olympic mountain bike title despite a punctured tyre in a dramatic comeback. Unfortunate news coming out of Louisiana as star wide receiver Kyron Lacey lost his life in a fatal car crash in Houston last week. The star was seen as one of the only few wide receivers to go in the first round of the NFL draft. LSU have come out and said that he unfortunately took his own life. Retired footballer Troy Deeney made his return to the game when he participated in the Baller League for Ian Wright's team, Wembley Rangers. However, he was shown a red card minutes into his debut after pushing Tyreek Holmes-Dennis off the ball. This sparked chaos on the pitch as Holmes-Dennis went and pushed Deeney back, which made it hard for referee Mark Clattenburg to calm everything down. A 4-time British Olympian has managed to secure his 6-star medal after completing the Boston Marathon. Paula Radcliffe ran the marathon in 2 hours and 53 minutes and finished 117th at 51 years old. She retired from competitive running in 2015, but has since gone to complete the Tokyo and Boston marathons. Southampton is home to many sporting clubs and teams, but what you may not know is that one of the 4 unique high-performance diving centres in the country. Owen Bolger reports live.
Thank you very much, Ben. You're looking very dapper today too. If you want to head with me, it's a bit different attire through here because we are just heading through to where some of England's best divers train here. They've had 3 GB athletes come through here, if you just make your way down here with me. And yeah, 3 GB athletes come through. This is one of 4 high-performance diving arenas in all of the United Kingdom. So it's a really special place. At the moment, the elite squad are just training down in the training room. I'll tell you what, it's certainly not what I'd expect from a training room. It's full of machinery in there. They've certainly splashed the cash on it and they're seeing results in here. So yeah, we've had an extraordinary day. We've been given a tour down into the lows of the training and up high, meters in the air, for a bit of a terrifying experience on the top of the diving board. It's been brilliant. Jess Lee's on hand to talk you through it.
Southampton is home to one of only 4 high-performance diving centres in the United Kingdom. With the Keys playing host to 3 of Team GB's top Olympic divers, we were granted exclusive access to see how the teams train with diving coach Matt Roberts.
Matt, this is of course the diving gym. I know I've never seen anything like this. I'm sure a lot of people have never seen anything like this before. Can you talk me through some of the stuff we've got in here?
Yeah, so this is our dry land for diving. Everything that they'll do in here is preparation skills for what they'll do upstairs in the pool. So here we've got Nick, one of our coaches on the trampoline, and he's just practicing some skills, jumps, shapes. These are the sort of things that they'll be doing upstairs. The repetitions for this will help them upstairs in the pool. Yeah, we have them from a really young age, and a lot of the time it's just a lot of coordination stuff lower down on the floor. But once they start getting more experience, we start to build them up. And yes, we'll move on to the trampoline. We have, over here, we have the dry boards. So in the pool, we have boards exactly the same as this, but obviously it's into water. So here it's the same thing, but they'll do it onto the mats and land on their feet nice and safely.
Well, you've had some Team GB divers come through.
We have.
Have they used this equipment in here like
Absolutely,
this?
absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, our club has been really successful across all the years, really, nationally and internationally. So.
Yeah, well, certainly works then.
Yeah.
Practice can only take you so far though. A trip up to the 10-metre board was needed to grasp the depth and challenge facing Britain's diving elite.
I am here on top of the 10-metre diving board. I'll tell you, from the bottom, I thought it would be fine, but I'm up here now and my legs are a little bit shaky. It is unbelievably high. We're right up in the rafters. It's hard to imagine people up here triple somersaulting, backflips, all sorts off the top of here and landing in to get a perfect 10. But honestly, up here it is astronomically high up. And yeah, I tell you what, I don't often get nervous, but I'm starting to get a little bit shaky here. So yeah, I think for me, maybe diving isn't quite the right sport for me, but you've got to appreciate those that do it, and they do it very well.
Jess Lee and Owen Bolger, Solent Sports News.
Appreciate Owen. I swear, I'm pretty sure if I was up that high, I would most likely fall in, to be honest. But back to the story. The most capped England player of all time, Ben Youngs, has announced he has retired from professional rugby. The Leicester Tigers scrum half played 127 tests for the Red Roses, including 4 World Cups. He'll hang up his boots as a one-club man and with 5 Premiership titles to his name. That's all from us for now. Remember, you can keep up to date 24 hours a day on our website, which is solentsportsnews.com.